Yeah.
It it is a personal thing that you're gonna have to want because there's so many things that Columbus offers and stuff that people could take full advantage of.
Where do you work?
And they don't. I sell roofs for a company called Skyward Contracting in Grove City.
Okay.
You a door-to-door guy?
Yeah.
God, you're
God
tough.
bless you.
You're
It's
still a hustler. Just change the hustle.
yeah,
you know?
exactly. And that's kind of how I got into it too. Like
I've
somebody used that
done-
analogy.
2 sales jobs. Neither were door to door, but that door to door shit I feel like is the hardest
Bro,
fucking
it is.
sales
That's a whole
job.
different,
It's rough.
in the
whole
It
different
is.
beast, man. You got to be
It is.
good.
You gotta have a tough character
Yeah.
about it too,
Yeah.
because like one asshole fuck your whole day up,
Yeah.
but you can't let it. You
Can't
know
let
what
it.
I
Yeah,
mean?
just laugh
You're,
at it.
you're
Yeah,
gonna
like,
have
fuck
you're
you.
gonna have doors
Well-
slammed in your face.
Absolutely.
Fucking
The
Absolutely.
fuck up my property.
Yeah, I've had that few too many times.
I bet. Yeah.
You just got to keep that door open, keep your foot in that door, and fucking try to
Mhm.
make that sale.
You do, and then like, I think I learn who I am as a person too. Also doing this job, like I went from warehouse to this, kind of just quit my warehouse and jumped straight into this.
Yeah,
Damn.
there's good money in it.
There is good money in it, and it's just another stepping stone of growing up though.
Yep.
I went from
Exactly.
where everything
Yeah.
Exactly.
is here's your work, go do it. To
Now it's on you.
now it's on me to
Yeah.
make my schedule.
Well, you're not
to-
you're not settling.
Right, exactly.
You moved up.
I can't.
You've removed the ceiling.
And I never knew for 20 plus years that was even possible for somebody like me.
I know your worth.
I
man.
never knew it. And
Yeah.
I love that saying, you
Yeah.
gotta know your worth.
Yep.
Because I'm better than listening to Jack and Jill that's getting paid $2 more than me to tell me what to do all day.
Yep.
I'll go out here and make just
Later.
as much
Yeah.
as them. You know what I mean? But
More.
yeah, more, really, seriously. But it takes that determination. You have to know confidence.
Make that jump.
Confidence is still have problems with it when I'm at door to door, because there's sometimes I go to neighborhoods and they're like, I don't belong here.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? You're like,
That's called imposter syndrome.
yeah,
That's what
like
that's called.
yeah, that makes sense, because that's what I feel like I'm doing
Yep.
is imposing on everybody in this
Yep.
area.
Yep.
Especially in my little work truck. It's just a beater with a heater, you know what I mean? So
Yeah.
you pull up and they got like Benzes and Mercedes and shit. You're like, let me park this turd over here and walk over.
But those are the houses you want.
Mm-hmm. They are, absolutely.
Yeah.
And a lot of people working with that kind of successful crowd too, you learn that
Yep.
they come from somewhere too.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I mean? So everybody's got a story. Some people's are worse than others. You just got to overcome it at the end of the day, and don't let your past define who you
Amen,
are
bro.
today.
Fuck no.
That's just what
Shit,
it
if
is.
Our past
100%.
define us, like
Yeah,
like we
for
wouldn't
real.
be sitting in this room. Anybody,
Absolutely, none of
right
us.
now.
We'd be
Yeah.
dead because fentanyl would already kill all
Yep.
of us.
Yep.
For real, I believe that 100%. Like fentanyl ruined so many lives, and I am 100% against it.
What's your message to that guy out there that's still struggling, that's still hooked on fentanyl or hooked on heroin or hooked on whatever the fuck?
My message to him would be, somebody, it may not be somebody that you see at this moment, see down the road, somebody loves you. Somebody cares about you enough, even if it's a stranger that's met you at a program or helped you put blankets on you while you were cold outside. Somebody loves you enough, and your life is worth fixing.
Mm.
You can be fixed. You can fix yourself. You might not feel like you can do it by yourself, and that's why you build a family if you don't have one.
Yep.
Because there's so many people that feel like they have nobody. And I can tell you right now, you go into one of them rooms, and there's certain rooms you walk into, like in the AA world and NA world, that they accept you.
Yeah,
You know what
yeah.
I mean? But people think, oh, I don't want to be one of them AA. I'm not. I never got clean like that, but I've been to so many meetings and stuff. And,
Yeah.
obviously, CBCF
Of course,
and stuff like
yeah.
that. But some of the, what am I looking for? The open arms, though.
Yeah.
Like, some people just are full open arms for somebody that's not even had a attempt.
Oh,
to
they
get
love
clean.
they love the newbies.
Yeah, some people love. Yeah, that's what I'm saying. And that next
the
guy
most
that's out there
important
getting
person
high
in
and
the
shit
world.
needs to know that there is ways to get off the street.
You walk into a meeting and you're fresh, you are the most important person in that
Yeah.
room.
There's certain people that will give you. There's 4 or 5 people that give you their number right there while you're sitting and say, "Hey,
Call me whenever you want.
if you're having a bad day,
24/7.
call." Exactly.
Yeah.
I was locked up with a buddy that he's got like a year on me, but I got out and like my anxiety when I'd go to a room, I'd have to put my chair up on the wall, like, you know what I mean? Like it was just through the roof, and he's like, "Calm down, bro. Like you're good. You're not in a space where you have to worry about that stuff no more. You're in a meeting." And then it introduced me to like sociability. Like I didn't know I was able to be so social with people.
Yep.
Like, and that's what made me get the confidence to sell now, because I'm like, oh, I got that. Like I can be
talk.
social.
Yeah.
Yeah, I can talk and
Gift
not
of
be.
gab.
You don't think that everything you say or do has a bad reaction or consequence to it. And like for so many years,
You
I thought
learn
that.
so much about yourself.
I thought that for so many years, whatever. And sometimes I still got to be told like, watch the negative shit. Like stop talking, because I'm big. Like in our house, we speak it into existence. You know what I mean? We don't talk negative, and if we do, we get corrected
Manifest.
about it instantly. Yeah. It's big in my house. Like my girl is
Fuck
big
yeah.
on manifest.
Fuck yeah.
And I love her every day for it, because she's made me a better person also.
I remember my first year, I had a crush on this girl in drug court. God forbid.
Best place to meet her.
Yeah, right. But I was so socially inept at a year that I couldn't pull it off.
Mm-hmm.
And me today, it's a totally different story.
Mhm.
I've got that gift of gab. I've grown that social. What you're talking about, I've learned, and I've used it.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? And
Apply it.
It's crazy how, as time goes by, it just keeps getting fucking better.
And that means that for you, the domino effect's just going to happen, and life is just going to keep getting better as long as
Exactly.
we just think that we can be better and
Don't
do
pick
better.
up.
Yeah.
Don't
Exactly.
pick up.
Exactly.
That's it.
And it's big too, one day at a time.
Yeah.
That's probably another message.
Yeah.
that
Fuck my decade. It's 24 hours.
Yeah, because for the longest time I never even had like a urge or nothing, and then like last year I remember at one point I thought about it. I was like, what the fuck?
Now wait a minute.
Yeah, why am I thinking about that? You know what I mean? I don't even know who to call for that. Like, why am I thinking? And I had a conversation with my old lady, like, I actually thought about dope today for some reason. She was like, and that's why I tell you gotta sometimes ground yourself and see where you're at now compared to, we just got a new house and stuff. And I'm a crier, and we were in the car, and I just kind of like broke down and was like, we did that shit. You know what I mean? Like, we came from being a little fucking hoodlum, getting high with mom and dad, robbing houses and shit, to owning or not owning, but renting houses and having kids and having a successful life and a dog and a fence and you know what I mean? Just the little ass shit that I never even seen. I'm doing better than I see my parents do damn near my whole life.
That's huge.
And that's something I'm like, wow, that's a super accomplishment, because forever I just felt like that's where I was.
Yeah.
I'm gonna live in the hood. I'm gonna live in a little apartment forever. Like that doesn't get, as long as you got a place, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like, but there's so much more to growing in the world once you get sober, and you can't do it until you get sober.
Correct.
You can't. You will never grow consciously.
Spiritually.
Anything. You will
nothing.
never grow until you put down and pick this up. You know what I mean? You won't. You won't. I don't know why it took me forever to learn that. Probably because, like, my childhood, obviously.
Well, you got sober at, what did you say?
20... Was I 22?
22?
22.
That's pretty good.
20... I think I was about to be 23.
Because
so
if you go to a meeting, there's a lot of old timers that'll be like, I got sober at 60.
Yeah.
Or 50.
My dad and them were, like, getting high when, like, nobody even knew what heroin was in Ohio. Like 2002, 2003. Before, like, the pill epidemic and stuff. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
So I see his friends now getting clean, and I'm like, holy shit.
Yeah, you don't
like,
want to wait another 20
just
years.
now,
Yeah, Pops would have been like 55 or something. You know what I mean? I'm like, no.
No.
And that's why I said prison humbled me, because you see some lifers in there that's been
they're
in there
still
for
in there.
40 years,
Still in there.
and they're telling you, hey, you get out and do what you were doing, you're going to come back and see me in the same position
Yep.
doing the same shit I'm doing. You know what I mean? And that shit hit home to me. Like, I remember one old head specifically told me that, like, man, you got to get out and do good. And I'm running around thinking, like, whatever, old man. You know what I mean? And then it hit me, like, no, you got to get out and do good, because if not, this is your revolving door. This is your life. This is... And I got off parole, and it's been uphill ever since.
Gravy.
For real, it has been.
Yeah.
It's been fucking easy compared to running around every day trying to find a way, or
Yeah.
having so many people around you that don't give a fuck. That's my biggest thing since I got clean. Like, I had so many people that gave a fuck. You know what I mean? And I'm like, now I'm out here doing great. Where are they at now? All hit me up for $20. You know what I mean?
I get that all the time.
Yeah, I'm over here.
I'm out of gas.
Well, listen, dude. I was out of gas at one point.
Yeah.
My house got hit by SWAT at one point. I had that the other day. SWAT. Why would you even open a conversation up with that?
Right.
It was like, SWAT hit my house yesterday and took everything. Or didn't find anything, but you got like $20 I can borrow?
Yeah.
Probably not.
Nah, bruh.
If SWAT's hitting your house, you probably have a reason for them to be hitting your home. And that's a reason for me not to talk to you no more.
Yeah.
And it sucked because it was somebody that I was super close with at a time. But you have to know how to...
Boundaries, buddy.
Yeah.
Yep.
Because that's why I went to prison for real, is because during that 6 months after CBCF, I didn't know how to set boundaries. I thought being cool with everybody that was getting high at this little town. I didn't know nobody. I'm cool. Ain't nothing going to happen. One bad day at the bar, and
Then
It's over with.
it was
a
over.
couple years later, yeah.
Don't forget that.
Mm-hmm.
Don't fucking forget
One bad
that.
day.
One bad day at the bar.
Yep.
Well,
That's what's
listen,
up.
dude. Thank you so much for coming on.
Thank you, bro.
Sorry if I was a little jumpy.
No.
That
I
was
was
great.
nervous. Never
That
did
was
this
good,
before.
man. That was
I
good.
appreciate
That
it.
was
You
I
were
appreciate you
good.
guys having me on. I've never been able to, like, really get some of that shit out and actually tell somebody that can relate or knows.
But that's why
the
we do.
struggle.
That's why we do this, because people don't always get an opportunity to share their story, and
I appreciate it.
We try to provide a platform for people that want to tell their story and help people. So that's what you just did, because there will be viewers that will watch this.
I hope so, and that's why I came on here today. I told her that this morning. If I can come on here and maybe even one person makes,
Yep.
you guys know it. If one person can look at this and it can change the way they think of something, or maybe even do something different. I
We
did what
get
I
comments.
was supposed
Job
to do.
well done.
We
yeah.
get comments that are like,
I'm not gonna say
"Man,
everything.
I've been sober for 5 days. I've been watching your podcast every single day. It's helping me so much."
And that means
it's-
you guys are
it's-
doing it.
it's
You thank
wild.
you guys for that,
It's wild.
because the recovery needs that. Like,
Yeah.
in this day and age, it's social media and everything like that.
You can get
It's
that
platforms, and you can be so much bigger than rooms.
out there. Yeah.
You can be a bigger voice for rooms, or however people want to get clean, or whatever
Yeah.
it is they do. And I appreciate that. And I've watched your podcast before we even talked. And I think I seen it on Reels, actually. I
Oh,
scrolled,
really?
Yeah, I think
Yeah.
I scrolled past it. Was like, that's fucking Lewis. I know him. I know who that is. And old lady came on. I was like, hey, I messaged this dude. I told him how good he was doing since I seen him at CBCF and shit. And he asked me to be on a podcast. I'm doing it.
Let's go.
I'm doing it. I've never got to tell everybody how fucked up my life was. And that it can always be worse. My life is not the worst life that could. It sounds like it was pretty shitty. I know a lot of people that had worse lives.
Oh, yeah.
You know what I mean?
Oh yeah.
And you can't compare it to somebody else. You have to go
No.
off of how your pain and how you deal with your pain every day, because sobriety's not easy. And a lot of people don't talk about that easy, like how hard sobriety can be.
Yeah,
Because
it's not all rainbows and butterflies.
there's days, dude, where like bills are due or something, or something just something little even, and I genuinely don't know how to handle it, but I have to sit down and take a breath and say, hey, you're not out there at a trap house looking
Yep.
for crumbs on the ground or asking
Yep.
for $10. You know what I mean? You're worried about getting a bill paid, and that's a whole lot better fucking situation.
That's
than
called
you've
that's
ever
called a
been in.
luxury problem.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And those are problems I want to have.
Yes.
Please. Please
Yes.
keep it that way, and don't let my body ever feel like that ever again.
Yeah. Well, dude, thank you.
Thank you, brother.
Appreciate
man.
it.
Appreciate you.
If you know how to sell on Vinted, just snap a photo and list in minutes. That's it. The buyer pays for shipping, and there are no selling fees. Download Vinted and list your first item today.
One of the policemen came up that I've known my whole life, and he was like, "Hey, there's a real bad wreck outside town. You think you can first respond? Our ambulance sound a call." And I go out there, and it's my uncle and my cousins.
Damn.
My uncle was dead. My cousins were roughed up, but they were okay. So I just saw a lot of stuff.
Is it like a gruesome scene when you get there?
Sometimes, yeah, and sometimes it's not. You
I heard
know,
about it for your uncle.
it wasn't gruesome. It was just horrible because
It's
I
your
just
uncle.
saw him,
Yeah,
you
yeah.
know. You know, and you know, my cousins telling me not to let him die. So that was I think I've talked about this before in some meetings, and I think that was kind of a turning point where my addiction got a little worse after that.
Okay, we are back with another episode of Get a Grip podcast. Aaron is here with us today.
Hello.
And we have brought along Chad McClintock. Chad, thank you for coming.
Oh,
Thank you for having me.
Chad McClintock.
We all three know each other one way or another, whether it was incarceration or me
In the wrong way.
post-incarceration, me coming into the facility and meeting you. And nonetheless, we all have a similar relationship.
Yeah.
That's for sure. For you, let's start with childhood. I've never heard your story, so...
Okay, well, my childhood started out relatively normal, I guess, per se. Live in a small town. Mom and Dad got divorced when I was 4, and we moved northern Illinois. I'm not from here. And my mom eventually got remarried to someone who was very abusive. That's how a lot of this story started. I don't blame him for any of my path. It just was part of the story. You know what I mean? I hung out with anybody I could to not go home, made every excuse I could, and eventually started hanging with the wrong people.
Home wasn't a safe place for
No,
you.
it just wasn't where I wanted to be.
Yeah.
Now, you know, fast forward years later, he got sick and died, and we made our peace before then, and I actually helped him out in the end, but it was not a good childhood as far as that part of it. You know, my mom did the best she could. My dad was always in the picture. He was a coal miner, but he's an alcoholic, and that's where I'm assuming probably my addiction came from. He still to this day really doesn't talk to me, so I don't know if he still drinks. He will talk to me if I call him. He'll acknowledge I'm there, but that's about as far as that goes. So
Okay. So no real relationship with your dad?
I always,
True
when I was younger,
relationship.
I did. I mean, I ended up moving in with my dad after. I mean, long story short, my stepdad just. The abuse got worse over the years, and I got to where I got a little older, and I started standing up for myself.
So is he hitting you? Is it physically, verbally?
Yeah, physically.
You and your mother, I assume?
Yeah, I don't know how much. Like, he got rough. I never saw him hit my mom, and I had 2 little sisters, so I was the protector, and I wasn't ever gonna let it happen. I mean, I can remember being 10, 11 years old, standing up on a stool and punching him in the face to keep him from coming in where my sisters were.
Did your mom know
Yeah,
that he's beating the shit out of you guys? Or
yeah,
out of
it
you?
was. You know, my mom still kind of beats herself up over that.
Yeah,
now. She was just trying to make do with what she had.
Mm-hmm.
You know, it is what it is. I have a very good relationship with my mom.
Good.
But, like I said, things got worse over the years, and I think I was 15, and I just got to where I had enough. And we were actually at church, at a youth group, and I told my buddy, I'm like, I'm going home and whipping my stepdad's ass. I'm done. He's like, what are you talking about? I said, I can't do this anymore, man. I've had my fill. I walked over and knocked on the door, and as soon as he come to the door, I busted him in the face and drug him out the door. Mind you, I was a scrawny ass kid. I was, I think, 4'10" and 90 pounds when I went to high school.
Damn, buddy.
Wow.
And he was 6'1". It was just one of them. I couldn't do it anymore.
Yeah.
And I beat him pretty bad. And that was the end of me living there.
Did he call the cops on you or anything?
No, and it was funny. You know, we had an old guy that owned a little oil company next door to us, real nice, quiet old guy. When all this happened, I got up and we were both roughed up, but he was busted up bad. And I looked over, the neighbor was standing there smoking his pipe. He pulled his pipe out, nodded his head, went in the house.
Damn.
And I moved in with my father after I stayed with a friend for a week or two till we figured out exactly what I was going to do, because my dad lived about 10 miles away. And I moved in with my dad, and then when I got my license, I just drove back and forth to school. I stayed in the same school. My sister moved out and moved in with my dad immediately, and she went to school in that little town. So
How was school for you?
Well, you know, I was a very smart kid, but I would get in trouble a lot because I was ADHD before it was cool. I was a spaz back then. They didn't have ADHD, so you know I'd fly through my tests and
I haven't
be
heard that
talking
word
to everybody
spaz
else.
since high school.
Right. So by the time I got to high school, I think I was over school and doing just enough to get by and barely passing one of the higher IQs in my class, but barely getting by. And then by the time I was, I think, 13, I found weed. And that was where it all started.
That was nice.
I loved it because it just took me away. You know what I mean? And so I, like everybody else, probably most people, should I say, not everyone else, but of course, then I started selling pot and spent quite a few years. I sold pot all the way probably till my early 20s, just here and there, basically to get my stuff for free.
Yeah.
And, got caught a couple times with some quantities in my house from my dad, and he never really said anything. He was kind of laid back, and he let us drink with him. My dad was always pretty chill, and we raced. That's where I got my racing bug. My whole family races. So me and him go to the track, and 16, 17 years old, drinking with everybody at the track.
Yeah.
And, I kind of never really had alcohol issues per se. I did get a DUI in my early 20s, but not to say that I didn't do a lot of stupid shit drinking, but it never really negatively affected my life as much as drugs did.
It wasn't your drug of choice.
Right,
It was not alcohol.
That just kind of
The bonus
was my get by at the time,
Yeah.
I guess you'd say.
Yeah.
So did a lot of small towns. We drank out on the back roads and road tripped and go to the bars, but did a lot of fighting. That was kind of what I was known for, I guess. Everybody knew I was a scrapper. And I got to, I guess, my early 20s, and somebody I knew was like, man, you sell quite a bit of pot. He's like, you ever sold coke? I'm like, I actually beat a guy's ass for offering me cocaine one time, because I'm like, I'm not getting into that.
Mm-hmm.
So I saw how much money was in it, what guys were making, so I started selling a little cocaine here and there. And
Okay.
then, of course, that's a whole different lifestyle
It's a
than the
different
weed
ball game
lifestyle.
completely.
Yeah, how
Definitely.
do you find a coke dealer? You just like from your weed dude,
You know what? I honestly don't remember it, to tell you the truth. The guy that confronted me about it was somebody that I've known, and I think he was more getting me into selling it because it was gonna be his fix.
Yeah.
And
Like middleman it to you.
yeah, exactly.
Okay.
So started selling. I mean, I was never a kilo quantity guy. I went and got some kilos a couple times for people just to make a little money off the top, but I never had the money like that to buy my own and be sitting like that. And then I guess probably, I would say my late 20s, I started doing it a little bit.
Why? What changed?
Yeah.
What made you say wait so
You know,
long?
That's a good question. I think a lot of it was just I was up hanging at those parties with everybody up all night long 'cause I knew I was going to make money there. And I don't know, for some reason I just tried it. I honestly don't have a real reason why I did it. And it, you know, I did it a few times and it never really took off for me. Sold for a few more years, and then I did start doing it a little more heavily, to where then it got to where I was using more and basically selling to get high. I was still paying my dealers back all the time, but I wasn't making any profit.
Right.
But there was a lot of people in and out of my house, and another deal, a friend of a friend was like, you know, we know how much coke you're selling. Have you ever sold crank? I'm like, I don't even know what that is. So then I got introduced to the crank or meth world.
Yep.
And was going to Kansas City. It started out, a guy was bringing it to me, then I started going to Kansas City with him. And it was, I was moving quite a bit in the little town that I was in. And
It's a different kind of clientele, coke and meth users, than
Definitely
weed
is.
smokers.
it definitely is. And then it got to where I started doing the meth and really liked it.
You liked it?
I liked, for some reason it took off, and be up for 2 or 3 or 4 days and ripping and running and in the bars and working random odd goofy jobs just enough to make it look like I was working basically at that point in time. And the crazy part, I don't mean to jump around so much, but when I was 19, I joined the fire department in town. My dad's been a lifelong fireman volunteer.
Okay.
I believe he's still on there. And so I think that's one of the reasons I got by with all that crap as long as I did, because I was kind of tied in with the city. But I mean, towards the end, I was going to random fire calls, spun out, and I, was starting to do a lot of really stupid crap.
You're like
Yeah.
twacked out while you're on runs.
Yeah.
Jeez, bro.
Yeah, I mean, I brush fires and it's the nature of that beast. It's what seemed normal to me is beyond insanity for your average person.
Yeah.
Excuse me.
You ever see any gnarly shit were you on the truck or are you like a medic?
I did both. One of the worst thing about that was it was in the town that I grew up in.
Oh, yeah.
So 90% of the time, I knew the people I was responding to, or knew of them. The old thing, you see a lot of things you can't take back. I can remember we were at a picnic, like a fair at home, and I was drinking with my uncle and my cousins, and they were going over to his sister's house, and they're like, hey, you need to come over there and drink with us. And I said, well, I was there with the fire department, so I get back, we'll get the truck back, I'll come over. Well, probably about, I don't know, a half hour, 20 minutes after that, one of the policemen came up that I've known my whole life, and he was like, hey, there's a real bad wreck outside town. You think you can first respond? Our ambulance on a call. And I go out there, and it's my uncle and my cousins.
Damn.
My uncle was dead. My cousins were roughed up, but they were okay. So I just saw a lot of stuff.
Is it like a gruesome scene when you get there?
Sometimes, yeah, and sometimes it's not.
That's a lot for your uncle.
It wasn't gruesome. It was just horrible because
It's
I
your
just
uncle.
saw him.
Yeah.
And my cousins telling me not to let him die. So that was I think, I've talked about this before in some meetings, and I think that was kind of a turning point where my addiction got a little worse after that.
That's traumatic, though. That's,
Yeah.
I mean, even if it's people you don't know, that's trauma.
Sure,
Yeah.
Sure. And so I think I started using a little heavier in and out of that time. A a lot of my life is a blur, to be honest. So I will randomly get pieces of stuff that happened 20 years ago that I don't even remember.
Yep.
You know, that's happened speaking in meetings sometimes.
Yep.
I'll be like, oh,
Oh,
wow,
yeah.
I don't
Oh,
even remember
yeah, I
doing
remember that.
People
Yep.
will say something, I'll be like, oh, God, I did that.
I forgot about that.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And so I don't know if that's the drug use that blocked it out or if it's my own.
I feel like that's our own doing.
It's your own coping.
I feel
yeah.
like that's our own.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Now look, yellow is down to a single square, which means this one's gotta be a cat as well. See how easy it is to find the cats? 4 little cats to go. They're all yours.
Download now.
2 moms, 1 dad, and a ragtag group of 9 kids. I know what you're thinking, and no, we're not a cult, but we're definitely different.
No man left behind. There's the alarm. Watch out, world. Here we come. Let's roll.
So, excuse me. So things just continued. You know, I had a couple little small businesses, and I could hide my money a little bit, but my addiction just progressively got worse, and
you're pretty much just meth at this point, or using?
I
coke
was doing
and meth?
just meth for probably about a year, and I was working this little job at this coal mine where we'd go in and put, it was from what I mean, it was like putting antifreeze basically in these train cars so it wouldn't freeze. And I'd been up for like 6 or 7, 8 days.
Holy moly.
So I'm out of it, and there would be these, they had these Impalas. They'd cruise up and down the track, just guys that worked at the railroad.
Yeah.
In my mind, it was the cops, and I'm backing out. And I've got the girl who I have my twins with, her brother was working with me at the time, and he was like, "Bud, you're out there. That is not the
Oh,
police."
you're bugging.
So we finish our shift, and we go home, and I decide I'm going to keep going, and I get pulled over. And I had like 6 grams of meth on me, and I ate it.
Golly, bud.
Ate it all to try to get, to not get in trouble.
Yeah.
Well, I got home, and the bag's busted, and it was...
Oh my word.
My parents came over. I'm behind my couch, swearing to God, tell my mom, I'm like, this is it. The dogs are
you're out of your
outside.
mind.
I can hear them, and my stepdad's
Lost
like,
it.
that's not the dogs, that's my stomach growling. You're gone.
You've lost your mind.
So they take me to the hospital. They stick me in the nut ward upstairs, and
What, you just ride the 6 grams out up there? Like,
yeah,
that's a lot of.
I was gone.
How long
Gone.
does that
I mean, they
last?
like to never. From what I hear, I tried to take off running out of the car when my sister stopped to get gas. I don't remember any of this, but they finally got me to the hospital, and I spent a few days there. And the craziest part about all of it was, when I got out of there, I never touched meth again.
Really?
And then, I don't know, maybe a year after that, I dabbled in cocaine again. And this time it took off way more.
Cocaine.
You're snorting it.
Snorting it.
Snorting it? Okay.
Then, I don't know, maybe a year or 2 after that, had a buddy that was smoking. So I tried to smoke it.
We're talking about like freebase or crack?
It's crack.
Crack.
Well, it was. I take that back. It was more of a free, but we were cooking it down, so it was more of a freebase.
Okay.
And unfortunately, that is where my shit spiral started.
That's where you met your first wife.
Because I loved it. And
It's a different animal.
it's a total different beast. It's crazy. You can eat cocaine, you can smoke cocaine, you can shoot cocaine. It's all a total different.
Yeah.
It's just a different
Yep.
different buzz. Well, smoking took off, which was like again my 100% downfall. In and out of jobs, in and out of houses, in and out of relationships. I couldn't get nothing to work. But
No
but my
legal
crack-
troubles?
At that point, no. And I think a lot of I'd had some issues, had some run-ins with the law.
You said you had DUI.
And the fighting, and the DUI, but I think a lot of it was because I was the fireman, because it was small town, and
yeah.
my dad ended up becoming the mayor in the little town I grew up
Oh,
in.
wow.
And I think just a lot of that played into it, and maybe I'm wrong, but I just think that's a lot of why I didn't have the legal problems I did at that point in time.
Right.
A little bit later on, then I started doing dumber shit, borrowing people's cars and not taking them back, and stealing money and stealing things. I've heard in the meetings, I was the guy that'd steal your shit and help you look for it.
Oh yeah.
And got to where I was just screwing up a lot. And my oldest son's mom, we had a weird relationship. We'd party. We were in and out over the years. I got with another girl. We had kids, and my life had moved on. But me and her just always had a strange relationship, and we always got along. And she ended up passing away. Well, when this happened, I was smoking pretty heavily. I was in no condition to take my child. As much as I would have loved to, he ended up going with his sister, who's not my daughter, and her husband was in the military, and they kind of moved around a little bit, and they came to Columbus. Ultimately, that's how I ended up in Columbus. They were trying to bring me out here close to him and give me a new life, because they kind of knew what I was doing.
Yeah.
Did some runs in jail in there, 4 or 5 months here or there, and it was, but I just kept dancing around the prison thing, and came here, and life was looking a little better for about 5 minutes. But the problem
when you got here?
Yeah.
First 5 minutes when you got here?
Yeah. The problem with all of my addiction story was me. No matter where I went, the common denominator was me.
You brought yourself here.
You could take me to church camp and I'll get high. That was just my life. Yeah. And I came out here, and
how long did it take you from the point you got here to back?
Got home items you want to sell on Vinted? It only takes 3 steps. Step 1, keywords. Write the category, brand, and color. Step 2, condition. Barely used and good condition. Step 3, price.
I was probably out here, I don't know, a couple months maybe.
Okay.
And, I worked and went home. That's all I did. And me and my son were just talking about it, because by the time he's 13, 14, he was like, Dad, you don't ever do anything. All you do is come home. Well, some friends at work wanted me to go to the bar. So I kind of started going to the bar a little bit, right down the street from where I lived, out on the west side of the Galloway area. And, started hanging out with a few of the bartenders, and started kind of seeing one of the girls that was the bartender. I was trying to take her out for a while, and she wasn't having no part of me, and somehow I wiggled my way in. Well, one night I see her going to the bathroom, and she's in there for a couple minutes, comes out, and I'm like, what are you doing in the bathroom? I'm like, I've been a cocaine guy most of my life. I said,
I know the signs.
Bullshit.
Yeah, I know the signs.
She's like, I sell a little weed on the side. I said,
come on.
You can't bullshit.
Come on.
This girl was a lot younger than me, and I'm like, I've been around the block. You can't bullshit.
Yeah.
Well, I kind of dabble a little bit in the cocaine. I'm like, well, is it good? I'll buy some and we'll sell it. Again, one of my genius moments.
Yeah, it sounds like a great idea. Great idea.
I'm going to make some money. I don't know anybody here, and at this point, I'm not getting high. And, well, as always, it leads to we're partying, and I'm serving some people, and we're going to go to this party, and everybody else is doing it. And I'll try a little bit. And it's not too long after that. I'm right
full
back,
steam ahead,
ripping, running like I was before, and ultimately, I end up, the guy that I met through her that I was buying it through, he was like, you can just come stay with me. Because I had a decent job, and I always had money coming in, and he didn't have a license, and I had a car, and I had a CDL, so I've always got to keep my license intact. And so I move in with him, move away from my kid, and then, which right down the street, I didn't move far away.
Move in with the dope dealer.
Move in with the dope dealer. And as all of us know, we know that's never
No.
gonna
It
end.
sounds great.
Yeah, it's never gonna end well. So, in the midst of all my partying and getting stupid and ripping and running and doing dumb shit, I get irritated with my son's sister because my son is there. And it's nothing against that. That's just was my own insecurity. And I can't believe you took my son. And you never took my kid. But that was what was going on in my head. So they were going on vacation. I don't remember if they were going to Disneyland or if they were going back to wherever. Long story short is I broke in their house and started stealing stuff. Then I did it again because they were still gone.
Wow, you went back twice in the same vacation.
Yeah.
Balls of you, bud.
Yeah. Oh, no, that's stupid. Not ballsy. That's just stupid.
You break in, or how do you get in? Is it like a, or you know where like
I went in through the garage and got in the I knew how to get in the garage and go up
okay,
and
and then
downstairs
walk right in.
And so then I go back again, and the cops show up.
Oh.
The neighbors had called the police.
Damn.
And cops like, hey, we got reports you're breaking in the house. And I'm like, you can run my plates. This is listed as my address. So the cops like, yeah, you're right. We can't do anything about it. So they leave and I load some more shit out.
What are you taking? Just whatever?
TVs, guitars, my own kids. I mean, it was just full blown, didn't care, stealing anything I could to try to make a buck to get high again. And
you're full on crackhead again at this point?
Full on smoking.
Okay.
Yes. I'm sorry. I know I jumped around.
No, it's all right. I just assumed.
Full on. It was, that snorting lasted me probably 3 days. I mean, I don't know. It wasn't long, and I was cooking it down myself. And so,
is there a plan? Because like, if the cops come, and then when your people get back, obviously they're gonna know shit's missing.
Sure. Call
the cops. Like, oh, that's weird. Because we saw Chad, who lives there, loading his truck. Any thought and like how that's gonna play out, or you just didn't care?
I was so spun out.
Worry about it later.
So worried about my next high that I deal with it when the time comes. So what I remember about, I left, I had my car parked around in the apartments close to where, right around the corner from where I was staying, and I saw my son's sister's Jeep.
Oh no.
So I'm like, they know.
Yeah.
And I knew it was a matter of time. So me and all my infinite wisdom drive, instead of going out, because it was one way in, one way out, drove around the apartments, through the grass, and out onto the street to get away from them.
Shine Shopping Online. Try it now.
Free coloring game. Over 350 million downloads. Daily updates from top artists. Totally free. Huge variety. The best coloring book. Calm brain. Reduce stress. Download now. Free coloring game. Over 350 million downloads. Daily updates from top artists. Totally free. Huge variety. The best coloring book. Calm brain. Reduce stress. Download now.
I go to the Walmart out on Georgesville Road, and I go in and steal a bunch of food because at this point I'm broke. I've got nothing. I have a place to stay, kind of, but I've got nothing. I'm like, I'm gonna just get some food and figure it out.
Yeah.
Go in the Walmart, steal a bunch of groceries, and I go out to my car, and I don't know what made me even do, but I find a rock.
And on you?
In my car, I find
Damn.
a rock. Well, it's a Walmart parking lot. Nobody's around, so I load the stem up and I blast down and pull my hood over my eyes because I mean it was this. I'm paranoid at this point, and I just want to lay back for a couple minutes.
That's funny. It's like, yeah, if I can't see them, they can't see me,
Yeah.
kind of thing.
So I'm just chilling.
And you had just committed a petty theft.
Yes.
Yeah.
And never even left the parking lot.
Still in
You're
the parking
still
lot.
there.
Smoking
Still
crack.
there, smoking crack in the parking lot.
Jeez.
I'm sure it sounded great in your brain.
Yeah,
it sounded like a great
but
idea.
spun out me. There is nothing logical about
Nothing.
me.
Right.
Nothing.
Right.
So I am laid back with my hood, and I hear this dink, 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 and I'm like,
Oh, no.
what was that?
Yep.
And then I'm like, you're just paranoid.
Yeah, you're just tripping.
Bink, bink, bink. It gets a little louder, and I pull my hood back, and there's cops
No.
all the way around my car, guns drawn.
They got the guns out.
Oh, yeah.
Damn.
Get out of your car. You're under arrest, blah, blah, blah. You know, go through the whole spiel. And I'm thinking as they're loading me in the car, I stuck that stem in a Christmas card in the back of my seat. They're tearing my car apart. Now, how they never found it?
They never found
Never
the crack pipe. Wow.
Never found it. And here, I'm going to jump around a little bit. But, you know, back when I was at home, same deal. Went up to get a bunch of dope. I was working the union at the time, going simply to pay my union dues. And I drove past the road where I used to buy dope, and so I'm on this binge then, get pulled over, cops pull me over, and they find a new stem. The cop's like, we can't do nothing about it, it's new.
New, yeah.
You used it, where
yeah.
So I get, my brother-in-law comes and gets me out of jail a week later, and I go get my car, and as I get into my truck, there is a rock sitting in my cup holder.
Damn.
Cops had so in my head, I'm like, oh, they're setting me up.
Still smoked it, right?
Still
Still
put me right
smoked
back
it,
out on
yeah.
the run, but it's just, that's not to jump around so much in my story. That's just how that craziness works.
Yeah.
You really think you're doing good for a second. You know, when I got out of jail, I'm like, man, I'm not getting high this time.
Of course.
We've all been there,
Yeah.
but back to my story here. So I get locked up, and obviously no one's coming to bond me out.
What is it for the burglary?
For
at
the burglary and
I
theft.
was wondering why they had their guns
Yeah.
out. What? Surely it wasn't for the petty theft
Yeah,
at
it was
Walmart.
burglary and theft. And when I go in, this detective is like, I'm going to make sure you pay to the fullest extent of the law. These people's house that you broke into, he's a recruiter, and he recruited my son.
Oh,
jeez.
God.
And we're going to make sure, you know, in my head, I'm like, oh, well, you shouldn't even be involved in this case anyway. Not, how about, hey, stupid, you committed a crime and you deserve
Yeah.
this. So I sit for, I think I was in the Pike for probably, I think it was 6 months, 5-6 months. And go to court, and I'm looking at, I think it was 16 years.
Golly.
That's what they were trying. You know, of course, they're going to give you the full.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
And we're charging you everything, but we're going to throw this out. Well, my son's sister and her husband at the time, you know, they basically told me, we don't want him to go to prison. We just want him to get clean. So they shoot me the offer for CBCF. And I'm like, sure, I don't have to go to prison.
Deal.
Well, I get in there, and I'm all about getting clean.
This is where we meet, right?
This is where me and you
Okay.
meet, and we actually became roommates.
Yeah.
Rack Brothers
Rack
it was
Brothers,
at the time.
yeah.
And you know, it was actually pretty deep. Wasn't bad.
No.
We had a good time. I was clean. I wasn't on the streets. I didn't have to worry
Good
about
food.
nothing.
Yeah.
Yeah, good food.
Food is decent.
This,
It's
yeah.
decent, yeah.
Better than the workhouse.
Yeah.
Definitely better than prison. Definitely better than workhouse. Get a sponsor, and as we discussed earlier, it's getting close to my time to come out, and he's going to come get me and take me to a sober house. And he was like, you know just enough to be dangerous. So I get out. By this time, they dropped some. I have 11 years over my head.
Yeah, I remember that. Yeah, you had some time.
I was still looking at a lot of
and you're
time.
you're on paper for the next
I'm on
11 years.
Intense probation.
Yeah.
I go see my probation officer.
Dog by Vogue, Harold, you really arrived.
One time, I think, maybe twice. Move out of the sober house and move in with one of our friends.
Didn't we end up at the same sober house one time after that?
That was after my second run. When we ended up at the sober, that was
Not the crack house ministry one. Didn't you say it with Lamont at
yes,
Unity House?
yes.
Yeah.
I did not remember you being.
Yeah.
there.
You were there for like a week, and then you went wherever you went.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay, I did not remember you being there. Yeah, and I actually, that was something I'll bring up too with Lamont. That's a whole different story.
Mm.
So, long story short, 11 years over my head, and I end up leaving the sober house to go move in one of our friends that we discussed earlier.
Okay.
We
yeah.
start drinking, and then we get a bright idea that, we could probably sell some cocaine.
Sell some cocaine.
Make some money.
Didn't work before, but
Yeah.
this time.
This time will be
This
different.
time is different because I've
we
got
gotta
some
figure it
clean
out.
time
Yeah.
under my belt.
Yeah.
And I'm not doing it.
Jesus.
I love that for you.
So then it becomes, well, all the smokers. We'll cook some down and we'll smoke. Then you can sell to the smokers.
Yeah.
Well, then one night it was, well, do we even know if this is even any good?
Got to
Why
try your
don't I
own
try
product.
one?
Yeah, you got to try your
It seems
product,
any
buddy.
good. So I think I had maybe snorted it one. Maybe not, I don't remember, but I know that I smoked it. It was all bad. And me and him,
When you say all bad, you mean the product was good.
the product was good. It was all bad.
But it was
'cause
all bad
Business
for
is
you.
going to be real bad.
Here's the old chat's going to
Yeah.
start coming
Yeah.
back out again. Me and him kind of have a little falling out, and it was over a money deal. And
Was it, if I remember correctly, was there a thing where like you stole a car or he stole a car? Is that
so the girl, which was the mother of his children,
Yeah.
had this car. She wanted to get a new car, so it was, why don't you buy this car? And I'll take that money and go put it down. I'm like, okay. So I give her all this cash to go get this new car. And then all of a sudden, oh, well, I had a payday loan on, I can't give you the title.
Oh.
So now there's dope in the house. I'm pissed off at the world and, of course, looking for an excuse to get high.
Mm-hmm.
Well, here's the best thing. I'm going to take this car because I paid for it.
It's mine now.
And I'm
Yeah.
taking the dope that's in the house. I'm going to show you guys. So I just start riding and smoking and snorting, and I'm all over, and then I'm all the way down. By this point, all the dope is gone, all my money's gone, and I get a call from a detective. Hey, you stole this car.
Oh, God.
And they want the car back. And I'm like, well, here's the deal.
Yeah.
I'm stuck here in the middle of nowhere with no money, and I paid for this car, and they're not getting the car back. And he's like, well, here's the deal. The car's not in your name.
Mm.
So you bring the car back, and we're not going to charge you. And I'm like, ain't no way.
Yeah, I'd be thinking setup.
Yeah,
There's no
I'd
way.
be thinking the same thing.
So they convinced me to bring this car back. And I drive up here, meet with some officers, handcuffs thrown against the car. I'm like, I knew this was going to happen. And then the officer comes back and he goes, we were told not to arrest you, that the deal was if you bring the car back, we're going to let you go.
Whew.
I'm like, okay. They let me go, and then I'm like, now what?
Now what? Yeah.
Because now I'm stuck on the west side. No, nothing.
Nowhere to go.
I'm like, and this is probably 10 o'clock at night. I'm like, can you take me to a shelter or something? He's like, nope.
Sorry, buddy.
So I
Your
started.
one favor is done.
Yeah, exactly.
It's your one
we
favor.
uncuffed you. That's the
Unlocked you,
best
yeah.
you're going to get.
Yep.
So I take off walking and sleep behind a dumpster that night. And that was where the shelter process began. I got in a shelter, and then the poor me sets in. Well, I ain't even got a house. I ain't got nothing. Well, did a couple deals where people show up at the sober house looking for people to, or not sober house, I'm sorry, at the shelter looking for people to work. And I got in and started working doing block work with a couple guys, and was making okay money for being in the shelter. And that took about 3 days to figure out I can con these guys into thinking I'm working late, and I can take this money
and
go smoke. Because, one thing about addicts is we can con our way into getting what we want.
Yeah, we'll
So
find
I
a
was
way.
in good with all the staff in there. I'm a worker. I don't sit around, so I'm always cleaning or doing something for them. So they just kind of let me do what I wanted to do, and so then I started smoking again. So I would get a check at the end of the week, but he'd float me cash every day. So I'm getting high every night, got a little bit of money at the end of the week, which is just enough to get high to get me to Monday again.
Yeah.
Right.
Have nothing.
On probation.
On probation.
Are you seeing your PO while this is going on? No.
Nope,
Okay.
Nope. That's where I was getting. Just going, I'm not even reporting it this time. So then I get picked up, and I don't even remember being picked up the first time. Get picked up, go in, do 30. I think it might have been 45 days. They let me out again. With the promise to report. End up going back to shelter again because I got nowhere to go, and go right back to doing the same thing. I go see my PO one more time, enough to make them happy, and I mean, I'm gonna be honest. I don't remember. I was probably high I probably got high when I left, and violated again. Took me back in. I think I did 3 months. And finally went and saw a judge, and I'm like, they give you 3 strikes. I got one more shot.
Yeah.
I'll run this one more time, and then I'm going to get clean. And I go see the judge, Judge French. And she was like, you made me, we talked in court, and you made me a deal that you would never be back. And I'm like, I get it, and I'm like, I'm just a drug addict, and I'm trying to get it right. I'm like, just give me one more shot. She was like, you realize you have 11 years over your head? I said, yeah. And she goes, and you kept getting high. And I said, yeah.
Yep.
She said, well, you're not getting a third chance. You're going to prison.
Damn. Did your heart sank?
It sank. Because I've been in and out of county jail a few times, but I never thought I'd go to prison.
Yeah.
And with 11 years, they gave me 4 years.
Okay.
Because all I'm thinking, anything over 5, you've got to do almost all of it.
The whole thing. Yeah.
So, go to prison.
Where they send you?
Was that?
Did you go to Noble?
No, I went to Hocking.
Oh, okay.
So I originally go to CRC, and the guy, I spent a little time there, and the guy goes, "You're going to Hocking." He goes, "That's where people go to die." I'm like, I'm not from here, but what are you saying? I'm a little confused. He goes, it's an old man camp. It's a child molester camp. Well, in my past, I was a very violent individual. Yeah. I'm like, this is not a good place to send me. I have children, and this isn't going to be good. I'm going to end up with a case. And so I go there wondering why I'm being sent here. And basically, I was one of the youngest guys there. I was 44, 45 years old. I was one of the youngest guys there.
Really?
And they sent me there to be, to work. Most of them guys there were 60, 70, 80-year-old child molesters. And so I was just going to be a runner and a worker.
I don't even know where that's at. Where is that at?
It was out in the middle of nowhere. It's actually not even there now. They closed it down.
If you're a mom, then you know just how expensive it is to feed a house full of kids. Luckily, with Chime, you can get 5% cash back on groceries, which really adds up. Plus, you'll get feed-free banking. Every time I'm at checkout, I know I'm getting something back on things I'm already buying. And on top of that, you can grow your credit score by up to 70 points just by making your everyday purchases. I can treat my kids to their favorite snacks and feel good knowing I'm getting rewarded for it. Sign up now. You'll thank me later.
Harbor Freight Tools are working hard in real garages across America, like at Nico's Automotive Shop in Des Plaines, Illinois. He demands affordable tools that don't quit because he never quits. Harbor Freight.
So I worked all the time, got into the drug program there, really focused on getting clean this time. And it's, I tell people that there's as much drugs in prisons as on the streets.
Oh, yeah.
It's everywhere. If I wanted to get high, I could have easily got high. Yeah. And it wasn't that I was scared, and that was my fill. I had enough of it. Really pursued this drug program and started doing my hours to become a drug counselor, going to college. And then they were going to close the prison. And then they started bringing in a lot of these younger guys and a lot of people from other camps that wouldn't have been there on a normal basis because they're just, basically all they're doing is putting them there and they're going to move them. And So we're in the lunchroom one day, and this guy he was an asshole. He's always running his mouth and
loud,
and
obnoxious.
always going to beat somebody's ass.
Oh, yeah,
and,
the
I
worst.
stayed out of the way.
The worst.
I was still I guess the old me was still there. I tried to stay out of people's way. I just wanted to do my time and go home and be clean. And guy just pushed me to the break, and I let him swing first, because part of the deal with the drug program, if you get in a fight, as long as you don't swing first, we're not going to kick you out. So I beat the shit out of this guy, and more than everybody laughed.
In the mess hall?
It was in the day room.
In the day room?
In the day room. So get out of there. Now I'm concerned with still getting kicked out of the drug program, because that's still a fight. And they let me stay in the drug program, and I ran the meetings a lot in there. Well, part of the thing was, if you get in trouble, you can't run meetings anymore. And I guess just my counselor, they saw something else in me that I didn't see. And he was like, I realize we're breaking the rules, but I think the best thing you can do is come run a meeting. And the first thing up there, everybody's cheering about the fight. And I'm like,
guys,
I get this as prison. What y'all don't get, this was just the old me minus dope.
Yeah.
The fighting, the stupid shit, that doesn't need to be there.
Right.
So probably within a month after that, they were going to move me, and they're shutting the prison anyway. And I went to Lancaster from there. Now, I had filed for my judicial about the time all this fight happened, and because I'd been in there long, I had enough time in. I was at the dog program. I was doing everything I was supposed to do, and went to see was getting ready to go see the judge. Let me rephrase that. And my attorney comes in and he goes, "They denied your judicial." I said, "For what?" He said, "For that fight."
Oh.
And I'm like, I'm not making an excuse, but it's prison.
Yeah, I mean,
fights are everywhere,
right,
every day.
Every day.
And he goes, "It's, things are changing with everything that was going on. There was a lot going on." And he's like, You're going to have to do all your time.
Damn.
So I had never bought a TV because I wasn't planning on being there long.
Right.
In my head, I'm going to do this a little bit, and I'm going to get in and out, and I'm going to be fine. So I called my mom like 2 days after that. I'm like, "Hey, I'm here for 4 years.
I'm not leaving.
I'm going to need you to buy me a TV." And my mom bought me a TV, and 2 weeks later, they're like, "McClintock, you got a legal visit." I'm like, what else came up?
Yeah, what now?
Because I was an idiot when I was out there. Yeah. And I'm like, I'm sure there's some stuff I've done that ain't. So in my head, I'm like, great, I'm about to go get some more time. And it was the guys from CBCF. He was like, "Hey, we're here to do your intake review or your review." And I'm like, "I've already been denied. My judicial's already denied." He goes, "Something changed. They're wanting you to go through again."
Huh.
Now, here's what this was God working when I couldn't, because my attorney was a pro bono, a public defender, should I say.
Yeah.
I had no money. This guy took it upon himself to go back in and apply again and got me judicial.
No shit.
Wow.
Which was, in my eyes, unheard of, because most of those,
very rare.
most of those, you're lucky to even get them to do anything
Just show
for
up for
you.
court, man. Yeah.
And this guy went in and got me out, and I went through CBCF again, and by the mercy of God, this thing stuck this time.
What year was that? The second time?
2000.
Was it 18? 17, 18?
2018.
Okay, so that's when I was bringing the meetings.
Yes, you were doing meetings.
Okay.
Tuesday nights, I think it was.
Yep.
And you came in. Tony brought you in, and that's what I said. We talked to her. I'm not sure if I met you in before, because it was around 2016 when I was in there.
Yeah.
The first time. But this, like I said, this time everything stuck, and it's.
Shine Shopping Online. install, and go.
I still have my downfalls, and I'm still not perfect. And I tell a lot of drugstores, we joke because it's just a part of my life. I don't ever want to go back there, but I don't ever want to forget it either. Because, not to glorify drug debt, but not all of it was bad. I had a lot of fun in some
a lot of good times were had.
And there was some feel like you can't make the shit up. There was shit we did and shit I saw that I should have never seen, and some of it I wish I hadn't. But it's all part of our story.
Yeah.
And I try to help anybody I can, and just to show them there's another side. I'm not rich and I ain't got it all figured out, but I wake up every day clean and sober.
Right.
That's something I didn't say for a long, long time.
Yeah.
My sobriety date was usually the same day I was on. It was down in hours, not in days.
Yeah.
So
that's funny because I remember because I ran into you again after that at the sober house. We both loved it, and you let me borrow that prison TV.
Yeah.
for the long you were there. Yeah.
What are those like? What are the prison
the tiniest
flat screen,
clear, yeah.
Because you can't hide anything.
Can't hide shit in there.
That TV's still around, believe it or not.
Is it really?
Yeah. My boss's son used it to work on a computer. I never got it back. I was not upset with it. I don't need to see that.
I remember that, and I remember you telling me that story.
And they're stupid expensive for what they're $200
$200 for maybe a 10-inch screen.
Yeah. It's the size of my granddaughter's.
That laptop, laptop is bigger than the fucking prison TV.
That's crazy.
Yeah, $200, but
and God knows what it is now because that was 2016 or 2018. Who knows what they are now? Which now I guess they've got the JPay and they've got the tablets.
Yeah, they get it sweet, man. Prison ain't prison anymore.
But you know what? Prison saved my life.
Yeah.
I always tell people I don't recommend my sobriety plan, but it worked for me.
Yeah.
It's the way things had to fall out. Because every time I tried to do it, it always ended badly.
Same thing for me. I had to go to jail.
Yeah.
I had to go to jail over and over and over. It had to happen.
Yeah.
It had to happen.
Absolutely.
Or I would not be sitting here today.
You're absolutely correct. And it's sad in a sense that that's what has to happen to make us get clean. But it's
whatever it takes.
Whatever it takes. Yeah. I'm just happy to even be sitting here because I talk to a lot of my friends. I can't imagine trying to get sober when COVID hit. When there's nothing, no meetings, no.
Damn near impossible.
I'm an interaction person. Me and you talked about the Zoom meetings and all that, and it might have worked for some people. It didn't work. Didn't work for me.
I'm sure there were people that did enjoy not having to shake hands in person and know. But for me, I'm the same way as you are. I'm a talker and I like to talk to people, and it didn't work. Yeah. It's not the same. Not the same. I shouldn't say it doesn't work.
Right.
But it's just not the same.
Right. And the fentanyl craze, that's when I was getting a lot of that. It was around. I guess it was around. I was never into heroin. I was always a coke and crack and
speed guy.
But it's again the spaz thing, the ADHD. It made me calm and quiet. It did just the opposite it does to most people. And so I guess it was like heroin to me.
Yeah.
But I just can't. I'm sure I would be dead by now
because they put fentanyl in everything.
They're putting it in
everything now, man.
Everything. I dated a girl 3 years ago. I was in her mom's wedding. I've known her whole family my whole life. She was quite a few years younger than me, but she came out here and I didn't know she was into what she was into. Let's say that because I've known her whole family. And then one day it came out she was getting high, and I was still on probation. She's out running around in my car buying dope, and I had just went. There was a guy at work from where we worked together that they called me one night, and the guy had overdosed, and I ended up grabbing this dude that was with them. It was a couple Spanish guys, and I was going to hurt this guy because I thought he's the one that gave it to him. But long story short, it was fentanyl in the cocaine.
And the cocaine.
So then 2 weeks after this is when I find out this girl's getting high. I'm like, you can't possibly be this. So you saw what I just went through with somebody else.
Yeah.
And you're still getting high. I'm like, you got to go. I love to help you, but I can't put myself through it. God forbid you leave something in my car and we get pulled over,
Yeah.
they're not going to believe it's yours.
Nah, you're
you look
public
at my
enemy
arrest
number one.
record, it's all going on me, and I'm on probation.
You're screwed.
So I'm just, she had to go. And, with probation, I still talk to my probation officer.
Are you still
randomly
on
now.
paper?
No, I
you
was
got
off
off?
paper 3 years ago, I believe it was.
Damn.
Yeah, but I still talk to my probation officer.
Somebody that had 11 years over their head to now be free and clear from the law. That's crazy.
Yeah, because like my probation officer would call me and ask me questions about things, and we got along really well. By the time I got out this time around, I actually went to probation every single time and did what I was supposed to.
Yeah.
First time I wasn't ready.
They aren't enemies like we think they are.
Yeah.
We always think they're enemies. So the same with the judge. And,
Absolutely.
the prosecutor, and we always think they're enemies. Really, their jobs are to help us.
No, they're just doing. Yeah,
they're just doing
plenty
their
of
job.
chances. Plenty of chances they've given us.
None of us see, like you said, none of us see it that way when we're out there.
Yeah.
It's everybody's picking on me and that poor
Why
me
me?
shit. And that's one thing that's come out of this, and a lot of guys that know me know that poor me shit don't register here. All these people, I can't get a job, I can't do this because I'm out of prison. I worked my way I worked my way up from picking metal out of a dirt pile all the way to where I answered only to the owner.
Mm.
You just gotta want to get out and get it.
You gotta be willing.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's all you gotta do.
Poor me doesn't register in my world, and I'm going through some personal stuff now that I'd love to play the poor me card, but what good's it gonna do?
It's not.
It's not. You just gotta
Gonna make it 10 times
up.
worse.
Yep. Settle in and just deal with it. Because I know what the other side is. I don't ever want to see that side again.
What advice would you give to somebody, a viewer watching right now, that's going through what you went through in the past?
Just know there's another side. It can always be better, but it can always be worse. Because just when I think that I was at my low before, I take it to a whole another level.
Records are made to be broken.
Absolutely. Oh, that was the worst I did last time. Well, hold on.
Yeah.
Hold my beer and watch this shit.
Watch this.
That's me burn it down.
Yep. So I'm 100% grateful for people like you guys that I met along the way that get this out there.
Yeah.
That's what I love. Like, look at the three of us fuck ups back in the day. If we can do it, God damn it, anybody can do it.
Because us three together back in the day would have been.
Oh, bud.
There'd have been cops somewhere involved.
Yeah.
So now we're on the right side. It's a good feeling.
It is, and you can help people.
Absolutely.
Along the way.
Absolutely, and that's
anyone, anywhere, anytime.
That's one of the great things about this is there's like part of this deal is just being able to share. My sobriety is my sobriety. I never say I'm never going to get high again. I learned that the last time around.
Yeah, can't say that.
I can say I never want to get high again.
Yeah.
And I've been around it. I've had drugs in my hand to try to help somebody else. I went to help one of my friends. She's running around in her house. I find crack on the table with her little kids crawling around.
Oh, buddy.
What are you doing? Well, and the people I eventually had to walk away from because you can't, the same thing that happened to me. You can't help somebody get clean if they don't want to get clean.
Correct.
Because everybody tried.
Correct.
I wasn't ready.
Yeah.
Why would I have to wait for the money that I've earned? It's my money. Give it to me now.
With Earnin, access your pay as you work without waiting.
And again, this time we got it.
You had to go through some shit to get to where you're at today. A lot of shit. And how old are you today?
54.
So I mean, that's a message right there to viewers that are younger viewers. Like, get it whipped before it's you're later halfway through your life.
Sure.
Like, cause I got sober at 26, and I remember I always went around old timers, and they were like, "Man, I wish I got it at your age."
Absolutely.
Like, it would have changed my life completely.
Absolutely.
And that's true. The sooner the better. The sooner the better.
When you asked me to come on here, I had all these stories that I wanted to tell. I'm just like, I just kind of want to tell the basics and get the message out that there's a better life out there.
Yeah.
I've told a couple, you just got to want to get clean more than you want to get high.
Mm-hmm.
I had an old man told me that years ago, and I'm like, mind your own business. I got this.
Yep.
And it didn't work out. He was right.
I got into an argument at a meeting one time about the whole higher power thing. I yelled at this guy in an open meeting about how I don't need a higher power, and he's full of shit. And I ended up relapsing about 3 months later.
Yeah.
And that was my last drunk.
Right.
But yeah, it's a wild ride, man, and I'm glad that all three of us are sitting here now.
Absolutely.
So.
Absolutely. I'm 100% thankful, as I said, for guys like you, because as I said, in our past, we'd have been dangerous together.
Yeah, man.
Oh, yeah.
But now let's be dangerous together in a positive way.
Yeah, absolutely.
Get that word out.
Cool. Well, hey, thank you so much.
Thanks, buddy. It's good to see you again.
It's great to see you guys again.
Yeah, it's good to see you too.
I'll come back. I mean, I'll come help you guys any way I can. And if you ever want anything, come see me.
Keep doing.
Come buy some jerky.
Yeah. Plug your jerky. How do I get some jerky, Chad?
Yeah.
We'll put his number in the.
My number's
video.
on the bags.
Yeah.
I'll give you guys some bags.
Yeah.
Picking up a bag today.
All right.
Yeah. You know, along those, I make the joke that this selling this jerky is like selling dope. Because I give somebody a taste, I'm going to get some money.
It's a guaranteed callback.
I'm like,
it's that good,
but
huh?
now I can get pulled over, and the dog might go nuts on my car, but it's only beef. I got nothing to worry about.
Thanks, buddy, man.
Thanks for coming on, man. Thank you.
That's all I've ever wanted, man.
That's all we ever want.
You know,
as addicts,
just wanted to be somebody, man. I wanted to be accepted.
Yeah.
I wanted to feel safe.
Yep.
I wanted to know that I was gonna be okay. You know, and whatever I needed to do for that to happen, then I would do it.
Yeah.
You know, and however high I needed to get, you know, to like take the edge off or give me courage, or to just simply just crush myself, because sometimes it was a self-inflicted addiction. I would do enough shit because I wanted to feel shitty, because I wanted to just drown in misery.
Yeah.
Because I wanted to get in touch with pain.
Yeah.
Because I couldn't get in touch with pain. Like I wasn't a crier because my daddy beat that out of me. So like that's like the dark, ugly sides of my addiction throughout my whole life was like, I had to do that, man, just to survive and have identity, you know? And that was okay with me until it wasn't okay.
Right.
Until I'm like, there's times where like I'm by myself or I'm out in the streets and selling my clothes off my back for a hit of crack.
Yeah.
You know, I spent a lot of time in Venice Beach.
The crack got you.
The epidemic was crazy, man. Like crack took a hold of me like you wouldn't believe, man. Like
and that was the time too.
Oh yeah,
crack.
Bro. LA.
That's when crack was real.
Very real.
Very
Los Angeles
real.
crack, you know, they got Venice Beach, they call it booyah, right? You get these like big boulder 50 size pieces for
Bell
like 20
ringers.
bucks. Bell ringers.
And Jesus Christ.
You know what I'm saying? For sure.
Real shit.
Man, you better believe it.
All right, we are back with another episode of Get a Grip Podcast. We have Drake Phillips with us today. Drake, thank you for coming.
Hey, thank you for having me.
Much appreciated.
Yeah.
I know you're a local guy, so we know a lot of the same people. Like we actually know a lot more of the same people than I thought we did.
Yeah.
So this should be interesting.
That's right.
But let's start out with your childhood. Tell me how you grew up and what life was like for you as a kid.
Okay.
If you can.
Yeah, I can, for sure. So, at the age of 7-month-old, I was 7 months in East LA. I was dropped off at the hospital called the Queen of Angels, East LA Hospital. And just these people, you know, my folks, they just dropped me off, left me there, abandoned me in the hospital. And at the time in 1973, they just, I guess they had people they would just call, you know, and say, you know, you want to come check this kid out. You know, I guess that was something that used to happen a lot.
Really?
In LA, yeah. And so yeah, this couple that my mother and my father, they're passed away now, Rufus and Elwanda Phillips, a black couple.
Okay.
They had already adopted, because my mother couldn't have kids, so they had already adopted my sister, my oldest sister, Shannon. So she was already in the house, so they wanted to give her a brother, you know. And it was just, I guess, right timing. So they called them and they said, yeah, we'll come to the hospital. They came to the hospital and they grabbed me up at 7 months old and they took me home.
Wow.
Yeah. And so I was brought up in a pretty much an all black family. You know, I'm mixed. So I'm mixed with Sicilian, Spanish, French, and then my dad, later
I can
on,
pick up on the Sicilian a little bit.
Yeah, it's an affectation. It's things that I've
Yeah.
acquired over the years of survival.
Yep.
You probably hear a little Spanish, shit like that.
Yep.
I'm quite the fucking character, but anyways, anyway, yeah, man, I grew up in this house. The question of being black or what that all looks like, didn't come into play until I actually got a chance to understand what I'm looking at in the mirror, in comparison to my mom and my dad,
your family,
and then all of their family and things. And my family was wealthy. My mother and my father, black entrepreneurs, and my father he graduated from the Army Corps of Engineers, so he was really good with numbers and construction.
Okay.
My mother was a CPA; she did good with numbers.
Okay.
And my pops, he was illiterate, man. He couldn't read. I mean, he couldn't write and shit, but he just was hands-on.
Was he dyslexic?
Yeah, he was. Yeah.
Okay.
In a way, but he was a genius too,
Yeah.
So what he couldn't do, my mother would do, right?
Okay.
And so they formed a construction company and a boxing team, and they started off small, and they kind of bubbled a little bit, bro, and obviously they bubbled enough so that way they can have kids,
Yeah.
my sister and then
Sure.
myself. So I grew up in our first house was in Baldwin Hills, which is like South Central Los Angeles. It's like the suburbs of South Central.
Okay.
And then we had a house there, and then we moved from that house to Ladera Heights, same area pretty much.
Okay.
And then as the company started to grow rapidly, then we moved to Beverly Hills.
Wow.
Yeah, dude.
What is that like?
I'll tell you, man, it was I mean, look, I was a kid, so what did I know, right?
Right.
And let me just say, I was always a challenging kid, because they don't know, and of course I didn't know what I came from, and what I inherited, like genetically, you know. So I was a motherfucker, man, So yeah, so Beverly Hills, we lived up in Benedict Canyon Road, which is like, they call it the top of the world. It's like the very end of Benedict. It's way up the top. And my dad used to pride himself in buying a house, and if he didn't like it, which he didn't, he would take it and pretty much demolish it and build our own house.
Jesus.
That's the way he was. And we always had a pool, so I started swimming at an early age.
Wow.
With floaties, you know what I mean?
Wow.
And yeah, man, they really afforded us a good life,
They took care of you.
For sure, went to a private school called Le Lycée Français du Los Angeles, which is an all-French boarding school.
Okay.
And that's when I started and my sister and I, because she's 5 years older than me, Shannon, that's when I started to get exposed to some of like the celebrity kids, that are...
I bet.
Yeah, because it's a kind of an elite school. It's still there to this day. And so...
Are you making good? I mean, you making good money?
Oh yeah, dude. Yeah, like
hand over
the
fist.
The re-up was $22,000. So imagine rotating that with everything that we're buying,
and then you're stepping on it, obviously.
Yeah, like a lot of times we'd get it so raw, I would just make if a cap was $20 on the street, I would cut that cap 4 times and make 4
It was
of
that
them.
strong.
Oh yeah.
Holy shit.
Yeah, it was as raw as it could get.
Jesus.
I remember people telling me, like, when you quit selling this dope, like, I'll quit doing
So
this
in
dope.
reality, that $22,000, if you break down each cap 4 times, that's like $100,000.
We're running through it, though.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Nothing's being... I was too young to know what to do with the money.
Right.
I mean, my parents' house was good. My dad's house was good.
Yeah.
We lived fine. My kids were fine. Everybody was fine.
All right, we are back with another episode of Get a Grip Podcast. We have Vinny Ramirez with us today. Vinny, thank you for coming.
Hey, it's no problem. Thanks
Much
for having me.
appreciated. Are you from Columbus?
No, I was born in Hammond, Indiana.
Indiana.
It's up by Chicago.
Okay.
Grew up down in Middletown, Ohio. And
moved at a young age?
Yeah. So my mom wanted to get me away from all the gang life up there. I got
Is it bad? How close to Chicago are you? How close is Hammond?
We lived in East Chicago.
Okay.
And Hammond's connected. the east side of Chicago is in Indiana. So it's, I mean, you can see Chicago from where we were at.
Okay.
I had an older brother that got sentenced to 40 years for capital murder and affiliated mob action. So
holy shit!
When I was at the age of 1, and my mom went through so much. Now that wasn't her biological son, but it was my dad's son. My mom went through so much with trying to have a child. She had 11 miscarriages.
Holy shit!
Lost 2 sets of twins.
And then she has a child.
Then she has a child, a little boy who's got. I had 2 older brothers, but they're just deep in the gang life. You know what I mean? And she was like, "There's no way I'm letting this little boy. Let me get him out of here." And she took off. She took off to Middletown, Ohio, with her family, and it evidently was pretty cool at the time. You know what I mean?
Nothing crazy during childhood.
Yeah, like my mom was babysitting other kids to have me little friends around, making money. But their parents would come and pick them up. And one day I said, "Where's my dad?" And my mom ended up reaching out to him, and he said, "Well, if you give me 2 weeks to live with you, get a job, get on my feet, I'll stop drinking, I'll stop messing around." He rode motorcycles and stuff out there. He was active.
Okay.
He had been blown apart with a shotgun. It's surprised he even had me. You know what I mean?
Do you know how that happened?
Him and I believe my mom were walking out of a bar, and he thought that he got hit with a stun gun because he opened the door to leave out, and they stuck a 12 gauge to his belly and blew him across the room. And he said that he could remember someone telling him, "Check yourself." And he looked down, and like hoses, the guts and everything was just wiggling up out of him. He said he picked it all up in his hands and was just like, "Call me off of work." You know what I mean?
He survived that.
And they passed out. He woke up on an operating table, and they said, and somebody upstairs must like you.
Yeah.
Because I've never seen somebody come in here in 2 buckets of intestines in buckets.
Jesus.
And us putting back together. And I actually came out. My mom tells the story how he would have pellets come out of him in every which way. Like if he threw up, if he peed, if he pooped, shotgun pellets came out.
Really?
Well, while I was conceived on the 4th of July, she was drinking Screwdriver, and was at Americana. If you know where that place is, it's a little amusement park in between Middletown and Hamilton. It's a small amusement park.
Never heard of it.
Right.
Okay.
And most people don't. It's shut down now. But they got a room over there, and she said that when she went to sit down after they, did it, she sat down on the toilet, and pellets came out. So the pellets came out of him with me into her.
Wow.
And boom, I was made. But
with a couple shotgun
pellets on the side, dude. My mom will testify to that.
That is wild.
And so they were back and forth between Ohio and up there. Well, my dad wanted me born in Hammond, where he was born, and all my brothers were born, and that's why they took me up there and was born up there. But my mom got me out of there the first chance she could.
Which you think was for the best?
Yeah, she thought.
What about you? Looking back on it now,
it played out probably the same.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like, once I met my brothers, and I kept going to prison and meeting the one. But my mom ended up having a little girl 4 years later, my little sister. And my dad is in our life now. They're making things work, and we're doing great. Like, we never knew we were poor. You know what I mean? They at least made it look good. And,
food on the table, clothes.
Food on the table, Game Boys.
Yeah.
PlayStation.
Not really wanting or needing for anything.
Trampoline in the yard. Our yard was where all the kids came and hung out. my mom got me into sports, softball, t-ball, baseball.
Oh, yeah.
You know what I mean? And my mom babied me. Like this was her boy.
She was gonna make sure that you didn't end up like the other two.
She was setting me up for success.
Yeah.
And in every which way, she built me as a pitcher. She would make me put a battery through the wall, like go out back and put this board up, and I would pitch a battery through a hole in the wall, and I would sit there until I put the battery through that same hole.
Really?
She would circle it, and I'd have to put the battery through that hole until I was done.
Wow.
And I got good at it. You know what I mean? After my mom and dad ended up purchasing a home, and this is how true the law of attraction is. When I was little, my Uncle T, he taught me how to draw a house and trees and stuff. And I drew this house. Now this is my thing. Now I can draw. Like, I wanted to draw a house. I could draw the trees. I drew a driveway. I remember the movie Space Jam. They had this basketball hoop out by the garage. And I drew a basketball hoop on the garage. And I kept drawing this house and this house. My mom and dad ends up purchasing a home years later.
Looked exactly like that damn house, didn't it?
Exact trees in the yard, the basketball hoop on the garage, the windows. Every window that I had drawn on the house was on this house.
That's crazy.
That is crazy.
That is crazy.
And I just had to call and have her testify to that the other day. I was like, hey, didn't they pulled this picture out of all the stuff from packing up and moving and found that. So at this time, like, things are great. I remember at the age of 4, my mom's mom died, and it really hurt her. I could vaguely remember that.
Mm-hmm.
My youngest memory is me being 3 and telling my dad to take my training wheels off, and he said he would before he went off to work in the morning, and he did. He took them off in the morning on his way out to work. And dude, I fell so many times, but by the time he got off work, I was riding that bike around the block. You know what I mean?
Yep.
I was cruising. Yep. And determination, it's like I now awakening myself, like it's like, dude,
it's in you.
It's in me. There's nothing that could stop me from getting to where I want to be.
I love to hear that.
And so my oldest brother comes down. His name's Woody. He's got a fake leg.
Okay.
And he's more Hispanic than I am. He's got teardrops down his side. Looks the gangster part. You know what I'm saying? I'm playing baseball, but I see him. That's my older brother. And he asked me, he's like, you don't smoke weed? And I was like, no, Dad would kill me. He's like, Dad don't care. He like knew Dad. You know what I mean?
Right.
He had already,
of course.
He had already known Dad. You know what I'm
He's
saying?
been through
He's
it.
17 years older than me. He's known Dad. So my other brother, Tony, he's locked up. And this brother is now kind of influencing my life. And I want to be like him. And he came down to visit. So when he took off, my mission is I'm going to smoke some weed before he comes back to visit so I can tell him I smoke weed.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Like, it was like my mission now. Like, I skipped a whole season of baseball.
You looked up to him.
Yeah. In the worst way.
Yeah.
You know?
Well, I mean, I think it's normal. I don't think
It is because now I noticed how much that gang life influenced a lot of people. Everybody wanted to be it. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
The long white tees,
fast money,
the drugs, the getting high, the women. It's the gates. It's the gates to hell. You know what I mean? And so I did that. I ended up smoking weed. But